If it wasn't already obvious, this dude is petrified.
Kamala, you're fired. Get out of here. Go. Get out of here. By contrast, I'm going to keep the Affordable Care Act. Unless we can do something much better, we'll keep it. She goes around saying, oh, he's going to get rid of the health. No, I'm going to keep it unless we can come up with something that's better for you and less expensive for you. Otherwise, we're not doing it.
But Donald Trump has been, for instance, saying that he's going to introduce a big, beautiful health care plan. And there are no specifics on it. And Kamala is being held to a standard where she has to tell you the nuts and bolts of things, where people are saying, you tell us exactly that. She's supposed to talk about her economic plan on Friday. The press is already saying it'll be, quote, light on detail. They don't know. Could it be as light as big and beautiful?
Are you actually arguing that Donald Trump is held to a lower standard than Kamala Harris?
Yeah, actually I am. If you could say, I'm going to get rid of Obamacare and I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do, then that is the lowest standard of all time.
Trump was in North Carolina today to continue the rollout of his latest campaign slogan, Make Biden My Opponent Again.
To have a candidate, you know, we spent probably $100 million on beating him. Then we had a very good debate and we beat him. And they said, well, instead of letting it go, who knows what happens, right? It's the world of politics. They say, we want him out. Joe, you're getting out now, Joe. Well, I don't want to get out. I have 14. You're getting out now, Joe. We can do it the nice way or we can do it the hard way.
And if his interview with Elon Musk wasn't weird enough, don't worry, he's here to double down on his comments regarding Kamala Harris's Time magazine cover, which he discussed with Musk in the most profoundly creepy way.
And then they decided to get politically correct. We have to put her in. They put her in, and now they're putting her on the covers of Time magazine with an artist sketch. They don't use a picture. They don't use a picture. They use an artist sketch. I want to use that artist. I want to find that artist. I like him very much. And actually, she looked very much like our great First Lady, Melania. She didn't look like Camilla. That's right. But of course, she's a beautiful woman. So we'll leave it at that, right?
But as to the substance of this speech, right? Allegedly, it was supposed to be on the economy, which I'll pose a question to you all, the Midas Mighty. Does this sound like a speech on economic policy?
That's the stuff that powers the plants. It's not wind that goes around and around. And darling, let's watch the president's State of the Union speech tonight. I'm sorry, we won't be able to do it. The wind isn't blowing, darling.
This is Donald Trump in campaign mode, and that's what Democrats want to see. They want to see someone who is up there and is going to be bragging about crowd size and saying that he had a bigger crowd than Martin Luther King Jr. So it's not actually the best day, though, for him to be doing this, because the inflation report was a good one. So we're under 3% for the first time since March 2021. It's 15 months that we've seen wage growth go over the inflation rate, which is what everyone wants to see. There was a report out that our U.S. Crude oil production is now 13.4 million barrels a day. So we're outpacing 35% ahead of Russia, 38% ahead of Saudi Arabia. And what we're seeing in the surveys about this, like in Michigan, for instance, there was a FT and the Ross School of Business did a poll together of voters there, and they actually rated Kamala Harris as more trustworthy on the economy than Donald Trump. It was just 42 to 41, but she was trailing double digits, sometimes over 20 points behind him. So the American public is seeing a change here. They are seeing inflation cool. It's not done. 100% it's not done. But it is moving in the right direction, and that's why you're seeing such a surge for Kamala.
Or the unhinged ramblings of a madman absolutely petrified of his opponents' soaring poll numbers.
Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they're the future. We can't look back.
I did not come to poison our country, the blood of our country.
An election is a choice, and in this election, there is no choice.
Keep the label of Republican, but vote to defend this democracy.
You have to publicly out yourself. I am a Republican, I'm a conservative, and I'm supporting Kamala Harris.
How many of you were supporting Joe Biden 14 days ago? Raise your hands. None of you. How many of you, if the election were held today, would vote for the Democratic nominee, Kamala Harris?
I would.
Okay, that's all of you.
However, he didn't just spend the majority of his economy speech complaining about Kamala Harris being on the cover of Time magazine. He also had some words to say on, wait for it, her laugh.
Nearly 4 years, Kamala has crackled as the American economy has burned. What happened to her laugh? I haven't heard that laugh in about a week. That's why they keep her off the stage. That's why she's disappeared. That's the laugh of a crazy person, I will tell you, if you haven't known it. It's a crazy. She's crazy. They told her, don't laugh, don't laugh. No, it's her. No, her laugh is career-threatening. They said, don't laugh. She hasn't laughed. She doesn't laugh anymore. It's smart, but someday it's going to come out. That's the laugh of a person with some big problems.
Someone alert the breaking news department at Fox News, because we have an Obama tan suit level story here worth noting. The Democratic frontrunner for president possesses this thing that is missing from most Trump rallies: joy.
Mika, I mean, look at the numbers. I mean, the Philadelphia event, I remember when it first came out, it seems like 2 weeks ago, doesn't it? And you saw it was so huge. And then the Wisconsin seemed to be even bigger. Detroit was mammoth. Then Glendale reports of 15,000 people there, more than Barack Obama had in his 2008 campaign. And then the Vegas show last night, and let's just say what it is. These have transcended politics and gotten into popular culture. They just have. It's something that we've talked about before. We talked about with Barack Obama. We talked about how it happened in 1980 with Ronald Reagan. But you have people talking about these things like they're rock shows, like their Taylor Swift events.
But there was more. He again called back to his interview with Elon Musk, claiming that he was grilled during it. Anyone not cocooned off from reality would respond saying this:
"What the hell have you people been smoking out there?"
And what does all this tell you? That a man many Americans believe to be at the very least a successful businessman couldn't even get through a speech on the economy without coming across wildly unhinged, resulting to personal attacks and ad hominem. Why? Because he's incapable of getting through a speech without attacking his opponent. And also, as I've said many a times, he's not the economic guru that he's painted out to be.
Well, the thing with the no tax on tips policy, which the Democratic senators have endorsed, and it has bipartisan popularity, but there is a distinction between the way the Democrats would do it and the way that Trump would do it. So the way the Kamala Harris plan would work is there would be an income limit, because right now there's a loophole in Trump's approach which would allow people like corporate lawyers, for instance, to take advantage of it, or people who work at hedge funds. So they want to make sure that it's actually for people who are earning low wages. And I should note that the Culinary Union came out and endorsed Kamala Harris. Donald Trump went on this whole thing like, I'm so good for the servers, and he did this in Las Vegas. They talked to a woman who said, you know, my tips are getting taxed, and the Culinary Union didn't care and endorsed Kamala, who they believe will be better for her.
Not only has he bankrupted more businesses than he's had affairs.
He enjoys steaks of this quality in one of my resort restaurants or America's finest steakhouses. What do you think of my Trump home mattress collection by Serta?
Mr. Trump, please. My new game is Trump, the game.
Trump, the game, where you deal for everything you've ever wanted to own. Because it's not whether you win or lose, it's whether you win.
Yes!
Play Trump, the game, from Milton Bradley.
I think you'll like it.
Vodka, and I'm very proud of the fact, actually, that I don't drink, but it's a vodka that people really like, and as you know, it's taken off like crazy.
We're going to have professors and adjunct professors that are absolutely terrific people, terrific brains, successful.
This elusive economy that he brags about while in office doesn't even rank in the top 20, let alone greatest, as he has pointed out time and time again.
Yeah, I'm glad you got started on this, because there is a lot to unpack in terms of falsehoods. Let's start with the economy, a big thing for many issues out there. He said we could literally be in the throes of a depression, not a recession. He said close to a 1920s depression. 1920s, the depression was 25% unemployment. We're at 4.3% now. Not even close, not even the same ballgame. He also mentioned, weirdly enough, people can't buy bacon. I checked on bacon sales. They seem to be doing just fine.
And yeah, his cult followers will cling to a COVID frame as they attempt to relieve him of any blame. Yet he has no problem touting low gas prices and inflation that were during the pandemic, when there was no demand.
She'll say him for the election, but she'll never do him. She can't solve the problem because she is the problem. She really is. People like her. When I left office, I handed Kamala and crooked Joe Biden a surging economy with no inflation, The 30-year mortgage rate was 2.4%. Gasoline had reached $1.87 a gallon, and for periods of time was even lower than that.
So he wants to take credit for this, but also wants everyone to forget that he left office with less jobs than he came in with because, yeah, he woefully mismanaged the pandemic, telling people that Mr. Muscle injections could be the way forward.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, right? And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or?
He claims to have gift wrapped Biden a booming economy, right? When it's just an indisputable fact that Trump left office with the worst job record since the Great Depression. Now, if he wants to talk about records, well, America has experienced some record-breaking job growth since then, under the Biden administration.
Wait, but I want to challenge the premise. You said the economy, 13.1 million jobs he's created. More.
These are post-COVID jobs. Okay. You know that.
Well,
I mean, that's an artificial number.
No. Then let me stipulate this as an opportunity to engage civilly on this.
Okay.
Fair point. Your president, Donald Trump, lost 2.6 million jobs during his 4 years. We've created 13.1 million. Fine, you can maintain a COVID frame. How about the fact that Joe Biden's created more jobs, 6 times more jobs than the previous 3 Republican presidents combined?
Are you going to tell me that?
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.